Hello, fellow Econauts, and welcome back to our show. I'm here with my brother Ben, the Rocketman, and today we are talking about teleportation. Hey, Ben, how are you?
Hey Simon, how's it going? Hey fellow Econauts. Yeah, teleportation. I mean, who would have thought that we will talk about such a topic?
After so many rocket topics, I thought
Yeah.
that this might be a little bit different to what we had before. So let's jump right into that. And our first question is, when we talk about teleportation, what kind of teleportation are we talking about?
There's a couple of theories and ideas behind the teleportation, but I think for the sake of not going too wide, because I know we can talk under the water, we should keep at the form of teleportation where matter, aka your body, gets transferred to energy. That energy gets then transferred from point A to point B, and at point B, that energy gets transferred back to matter. So I think that that's the kind of teleportation we talk about today.
That brings me to my next question. Would teleportation actually be possible?
Well, I mean, we don't know really. There are lots of theories out there in sci-fi, but also in science, um, especially in quantum physics. And I don't want to give you a quantum physics lecture here because I don't understand it myself entirely, to be fair. But as far as I'm aware, there has been an experiment where a photon has been teleported, and obviously that was a big thing. What how it exactly worked and what it exactly means, I don't know.
Interesting question would be to explore what the ethical implication would be if we had teleportation available.
I think what you're referring to is if your body gets transferred from matter to energy, do we kill that person in the first place? And then at the point B where the body is being reassembled, is that the same person or is it just a copy with the same memories the original had? So nobody can distinguish the difference. Even the person who got reconstructed would never know that, because that person has also all the memories and all the experiences from the past life from the original. So, is it actually just a cloning device, like making a copy somewhere at the expense of destroying another one? So I guess that alone is the ethical question really here everybody would be interested about. But then you could counter it with the argument there was a very famous Greek paradox with a Greek ship of Theseus, and the paradox is going like this: when a ship starts from its home harbor onto a journey for multiple years, and on that journey, the mast breaks, they have to repair the mast. A sail breaks, they have to replace the sail. Some parts of the hull break, and so on and so on and so on. And over the years, eventually, the whole ship is completely new in terms of parts. No part has been the same of what the parts were when the ship actually started the journey. So now is the ship still with the same crew, still with the same name? Is it still the same ship when it comes back home? And I think, that's a bit of a brain teaser because both answers are valid. Yes, it's the same ship. No, it's not the same ship. Both are completely valid.
It also brings me to the question if we are actually the same when we talk about changing, because we are changing over the years, obviously. I think our cells are changing every 7 years. So we can make the argument, actually, that we are not the same person that we used to be 7 years ago, right?
You're not the same anymore as I
You're
met
not
you
the
the
same.
first time.
You're not the same
Yeah,
anymore.
you're absolutely right. And to make that even more, it's actually a very good analogy as well because it's the Theseus ship again, all over again. It's a continuous flow. It's not like every 7 years, all my cells have been renewed. I'm a new person. It's a continuous thing over the time when we eat, when we sweat, when we interact with our environment, even when we scratch from our skin, we lose and regain matter, which our body uses to make cells. So over time, you're right, I think it's about 7 years, all the cells in your bodies have been, and all the matter in your body has been replaced entirely. So it's the ship of Theseus again. But yeah, now, are you the same person? Now, obviously, we can all agree that everybody develops, and you're certainly not behaving the same anymore. So even, even from that perspective, you don't even look the same anymore. The ship of Theseus, which came back, might still have been, was still painted in red and still had the same shape and everything was the same. But when you develop, obviously, you have different thoughts. You look different. Maybe your physique has changed. If you think of an infant compared to a toddler and then to an adolescent, completely different personas, if you really think so, right? And yet it's the same person. So how does that apply to teleportation? Well, we don't really know because teleportation is yet just a theoretical construct, but it might be a very similar approach here. So maybe it is the same person, right? And we could actually ask the question, which becomes more metaphysical now, is there more to us than just this?
Just our
Who
thoughts. Yeah.
knows? Yeah.
Let's go away from the philosophical part and go back to a more practical application, and let's talk about the economical significance of actually having a teleporter available to us.
I think that is a very simple and straightforward thought. Assuming that teleportation is not a process which only works at the expense of high energy output or input, then obviously, it would make sense to teleport things from Earth's surface to orbit, for example, to a mothership or whatever you want to do, even just into orbit, because then you don't need to expend all the fuel anymore. So you could, instead of, actually expend matter, you could collect energy from the sun until you have enough. Then when you have enough energy, you could send something to orbit. So even if it's slightly more expensive energetically, you could still make it work. And you still have the matter available for other things. If it is energetically ideal and or perfect, you only have to overcome the energy difference, which would mean the height difference is the potential energy between Earth's surface and orbit. That would be the only energy you would have to overcome with the energy of the teleportation. And that is way less than sending a rocket up there where you have to expend 90% of the fuel in order to reach orbital velocity. So yes, it would economically make a lot of change and sense, not only for the space sector, even on Earth. Imagine you don't have to wait at the airport anymore. You just, I want to go back to Europe from Australia. You just walk to the teleportation spaceport, airport, whatever, however you want to call that, the teleport. We go to the teleport and then walk in, and you just do a walk and you reach the destination you want to be in. So again, if we still be the same assumed. So I know that,
Right, right,
that
right.
would be the other thing, right?
It obviously also goes the other way around, right? So if we had like space mining available and we need resources back on Earth, of course it would make more sense to use a teleporter device to send material back to Earth,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And it goes both ways without saying, right?
Yeah, literally, because that's the whole point of teleportation, I guess. The other interesting part also is just another brain teaser. No information in our universe, at least with the knowledge we have so far, can travel faster than the speed of light. Nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. Which means if you send yourself or anything to maybe a distant star or distant star system, it would still take the same time as the light would take. So if the longer the distance, so speaking of space mining, let's say in Betelgeuse 7, there's a planet with which is made of gold, and we want to send that gold back. But Betelgeuse 7, I don't know even if that star system exists, but keep with me. Let's say that's 20 light years distant from us. It would still take 20 years for that gold to arrive Earth.
No,
So I think
40, it would take 40 years. 20 years to go there and 20 years back.
well, let's say you have established already
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the station, but you're right. And there are other forms of space travel which will make more sense, and we might explore that later. in another episode. But yeah, not for today. But yeah, teleportation, I think economically, if you don't have to send things anymore, it makes things safer as well, because you can you have your the process of sending is just is like sending an electromagnetic signal, right? So it's like, however, now, so having said that, if your matter gets transferred to energy and then transferred as electromagnetic signal, could somebody intercept that signal and copy the signal, like a spy? What would happen then? Can you then appear at two places at once? So it's a cloning device.
If we look at some of the Star Trek episodes, yes, it's actually possible.
Man.
But all of that, even in Star Trek, is like highly imaginary, right? So
Yeah.
it's interesting thought, idea behind that, to think about that. But I think we are years away from real applications. It's still interesting to talk about, because it would obviously eliminate the need of a space elevator, would eliminate the need of a rocket. It would make traveling around the world easier, because even if we don't have to, consider the speed of light on Earth,
Around
because
Earth, yeah.
on Earth it would be instantaneously to
Yes,
be
exactly,
like
yeah.
from one to another. It's like basically the magic door, right? So
What is the ping between here and Europe? Oh, I have to wait 20 milliseconds for my parcel to arrive. Oh.
exactly.
Yeah.
There are a lot of applications that might be interesting to consider, and obviously there are also a lot of implementation. Oh my God, what a word!
Implications.
Implication in terms of law and order, to make sure that, like you said, that things are not getting intercepted, and also making sure that certain ethical standards are being hold up. So it is not an easy. It's definitely an interesting thought process, but
Would be
years
an entire game changer as well.
entire game change. Yeah,
I mean, even if we don't send any live matter, even if we just send, things,
parcels. Yeah, cargo.
right? Yeah, that would change. Like, everybody speaks of climate change and everything, obviously, and carbon emissions. And yeah, it depends on where the energy comes from. I don't want to go, it's a very highly hypothetical construct here anyway, so I don't want to overcomplicate things. But I mean, come on. Just, we have no ships anymore. We have to send things. I mean, once, because you have to send somebody has to make the teleportation device and has to bring it to the destination, and maybe they have to, who knows how big that is. Maybe, does it require it's like a printer. Everybody has one at home. Oh, I want to get something from Amazon. You print it out and then you have it at home, right? Or is it a huge building where, you need 200 people working in a facility just to make a teleportation work? Obviously, that would change the perception as well. But I guess that would be a huge game changer for in an economical setting.
Just like the internet used to
Yeah.
be a big game changer.
Yeah.
All
Which
right.
is in teleportation of information, right? So
Teleportation of information. That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah. But let's end it for today, because otherwise we could go like way way beyond into
Yeah.
that topic. All right. If you like that episode, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already,
And hit that notification bell. And also,
And-
don't forget, we have already a lot of other episodes, and we hope you would enjoy watching them as well.
and I just wanted to mention, don't forget to leave a comment. All
Yeah,
right.
that as well.
Okay. See you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye.